Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And this is the moment none of us have been waiting for. The Death Note trailer, the live-action Netflix movie. And this is the adaptation of the manga, which spawned the anime and a few live-action Japanese films. So let's see what changes they make, and let's try to be optimistic about this. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let's try.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All the people that make life miserable, make life dangerous.
Uh-oh. Oh.
What if we can change things?
That's supposed to be light?
Death Note.
Ah, yeah.
Oh wow.
It looks like the Death Note.
Name is written in stone shall die.
Shall we begin?
Willem Dafoe.
You're
He looks good.
a death god.
Yeah.
Yes.
What exactly can I do with this death note?
Put your name down and see what happens.
So creepy.
It's not gonna solve a few crimes. It's gonna solve all crime. Do you think that I'm crazy?
I think you're not crazy enough. We could change the world.
The killer is taking credit for over 400 deaths. Although we do not know how he kills his victims, we do know he's not some omnipotent
Is that supposed to
force.
be Watari?
He's a person. Like you or me.
You're the one who flew into the sun. I'm just here to make sure you burn.
We're not the good guys anymore.
Hope you know what you're doing.
Cares about the girl.
Yeah. Mikasa? Yeah.
Misa.
Lisa? Oh, I don't know why I said Mikasa. Mikasa?
Jump to your deaths. Oh my god.
What they want is a god. So let's give it to them.
It's like, what if Tyler from 13 Reasons Why found the book?
That's a good analogy for it. Yeah.
That was the trailer for Netflix's 13. I'm just kidding. It's Death Note. And we have, the core is there. You have the main characters. You got Light. You have L.
Mm-hmm.
Light, he's a high school kid. He finds the Death Note. We get to see Ryuk. He's probably like the coolest thing in the trailer. He looks creepy and, just dark, and he's got the hair. So out of all the characters, he's probably the most accurate, other than the apple. The apple looks pretty
Yeah.
accurate. And the
How did they do that?
yeah, the apple, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Did they have to get an artist, like an apple wrangler? Like
Yeah.
he's like, I've been around the world. I've seen a lot of apples and bushels, and these were
Yeah.
the closest things we can get to the
The
manga.
Death Note apple, yeah.
He's like,
This is it. This is the close one.
This is the one, guys.
I wonder how long that apple lasted. Like, they had to find more apples just to make sure it's the right shape. And let's say it gets all moldy. It's like, crap. There goes the film. It's over.
They lose it, or somebody
Yeah.
stole it. Somebody stole the apple. We're gonna find it.
Yeah. So the apple, the Death Note, it looks
Yeah.
cool. It's got the blank pages, and then Ryu, and then we have Light and L, and well, let's go with Light first.
Uh-huh.
He's definitely personality-wise, judging from the trailer, different from the manga / anime. Like in the source material, he's popular. Like the people love him, and he's got like a nice family, and he is. Would you consider like a handsome lad?
Yeah. He's supposed to be like your he's basically Zac Efron in High School Musical. Like
Yeah.
I know, like I remember people would actually talk about that in like message boards when the anime was big.
Yeah.
And like you think about it, like Zac Efron, he's a good-looking kid. He could sing. He
What are
could
you saying about
dance.
this guy? He's not a good-looking kid, or he looks
I
a little
know,
bit
I
more
bet-
on the emo side.
But like the Light is somebody who has it all. You
Yeah.
know, like he doesn't really need the Death Note, but then
Yeah.
it just happens to get into his possession, and then he just kind of like figures, you know what, I'm gonna fight crime. Or
Yeah.
he's like he's gonna
change the world
Change
for
the
the better
world,
in
yeah.
how he sees fit.
right.
And we maybe in the actual movie we'll see more of him. Maybe he's gonna be the popular kid. Who knows? But here, we can tell like some things are different. Like he's fending off for one of the characters. Here it's Mia, but in the source material it's Misa. You like how they just remove the letter and then it's Mia? It's like very clever, trying to Americanize it, trying to Westernize the characters. And here he actually shows that he cares and he's trying to protect people, but in the source material he doesn't care about that. Like he doesn't like go out of his way to try to save people. He just wants to get rid of the bad rotten eggs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, later on, everybody kind of becomes expendable to him. Like,
Yeah.
Misa is one that, loves him. But then by the time she meets him, he's already, like, starting to go over the edge.
Yeah.
So maybe we might see, like, a different dynamic in this.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like the movie, the director wants to give him a little bit more depth instead of just having a kind of one-dimensional character. Because you can consider him a one-dimensional character because he's just focused on his perfect world and he wants to be like the god of that world, and nothing can really change his mind because he's already set on that path.
Right.
In this, what we've seen in the trailer, he's like, we're not the good guys after all, that line. So it feels like he's kind of hesitant. Like he's just not set in the ways, and maybe Mia here will help change that.
Right. And then, like, even, like, Ryuk, he's when they introduce him, like he just says like, why don't you write somebody's name down, see what happens. Like he's almost like not really helping Light out at all, and I think that's how their relationship really started. But then by the end of it, it was kind of the same as well. Like he just doesn't really care for Light. I mean, you think he does,
Yeah.
but he doesn't, because in the grand scheme of thing, and in his existence in his as of a death god, like Light is just like a blip.
Yeah.
Because he's eternal, he's immortal. So he's just trying to keep himself from being bored. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering how that's gonna fit. Like, how are they? Because this is a movie. It's not a series. So how are they gonna fit, or like how much story are they gonna fit into one movie?
Yeah, what are they trying to do? Are they gonna? Because you already have I have not seen the live action Japanese films, so I'm not sure if they try to cram it all. As for this one, it's definitely a different take, so they can probably, just interpret it as their own and just flesh out certain things or whatnot. So we're not sure if they're going to introduce new characters or if this is going to be strictly Light versus L. And speaking of L, let's talk about L. The casting, I think the casting could have been better. And especially with L, he's got that distinct look that people like. He's weird looking. He's got that long hair. And with this character, you don't see the look with this character, especially when he's wearing the hoodie, which is different. He's wearing the mask over his face, which reminds me of the main character from Watch Dogs 2, wearing the mask. But
he's got some L's manners, like the whole standing on the chair thing, but like
sitting on the chair,
that's not.
But that's it. But other than that, it's different. Like he's doing a speech in public, announcing like, "Hey, this guy's normal. This killer, Kira." So very different. Like this is kind of like the opposite of what fans know of L. Like L, you can kind of say he's like a recluse. He likes to keep things to himself. He doesn't like to reveal himself out in public.
He's super weird.
Yeah.
And like I think when you look back, like now with like shows this the original anime has been on for a long time. If anything, I could compare like L to like Rami Malek's character from Mr. Robot. Like he's always like
very kooky. It's like he's very strung up and just something's off. Just
And he's
'cause
always
it's
like thinking, and he's just like, you know, and it's just that's what you think of when you think Al, because when you see him, he's got those dark circles around his
dark
eyes.
circles around the eyes, and it's always like he's wired. Like, something's up.
Yeah. So,
But here we don't get a sense yet. And the director, there's an interview that he talks to IGN. He reveals that the characters will be different in terms of personality, and the director wants to focus on the core thing about what makes Death Note. Death Note is the cat and mouse game of the killer and the detective. But then people can also say the thing that makes it Death Note are the characters, the personalities, because you have one who's bright, who's a genius, popular, but you would never have expected that he's this killer that's killing a lot of people. And then you got this guy that's kind of like a good guy. He's weird, recluse, and he's the one that just wants to find out who the killer is.
Yeah.
So it's very opposite. It's like kind of like a role reversal, because you would think that L's the bad guy and Light's the good guy, but it's not the case. And here they're not. It looks like they're not playing with that, so it kind of defeats the charm of what made the source material like a favorite for me.
Yeah, because going off what you said, like the one thing that was always working against L was the Death Note, because for there's no like magical elements at all like in their history, and then all of a sudden this thing comes out of nowhere, and they have no way of explaining it. Like the majority of the time you see L, and he's thinking about like here he's like, how is this happening? Like he doesn't understand. He's trying to piece it together. Like, how is this possible? How is this person being able to do this without, you know, we're not seeing him touch these people. He's, you know, and it's always like slowly but surely he starts getting like pieces of information that help define like what the Death Note is and like how it works. And that was the biggest thing working against him. Like, I mean, obviously him and Light were matched as far as like smart, but there was a couple times L got pretty close. Yeah. And then it's just that Death Note, it was always like it's just that wild card, you know, like he really didn't know what to do with it, and or you know how to counteract it with something you really don't have any information on unless you have one. You know.
And so we'll see. They're still playing on that because he's hiding his face with a mask, but the L that the fans have grown to love wouldn't do anything to jeopardize his appearance by going out there and announcing to the world, "Hey, I'm here. I'm helping. Help me look for this guy." And right there, that's just anything that makes you vulnerable to outside world, to the public. Like L wouldn't do that because not a lot of people know about L and like what he's up to.
Yeah, I remember first time they start like sparring. I think Light tells him he needs to come out and reveal himself. Yeah, he does, and he gives him some guy who's a fake name, and then he kills him, and then he's like, okay, well now we know he can do this on command or whatever. Yeah. So, you know, but that was such a good like mind fuck because Light wasn't ready for it. And he's like, oh shit, you know, you figure he had him, you know. He's like, all right, goodbye.
Yeah, it's like, oh nope. So yeah, that was the trailer, and those are our thoughts. And I'm still going to watch it. I want to see their take on this and just see how different it is and if we can just enjoy it as a very loose adaptation of the manga. So let us know what your thoughts are on the trailer. I'm pretty sure some are going to be very upset. So with that, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
See you guys next time.